Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the VZWBuzz live recap show. I am Robyn Wright, Robyn's World on Twitter, and I am filling in for Monica Vila, the online mom who is in the middle of traveling right now. And we have a great show. We're going to talk about the connected home, which we've been talking about for the past hour on our Twitter chat. And we have another great prize. We're giving away one of my very favorite phones, the Nokia Lumia icon. I have one here. And this is a great phone. And how you can enter to win that during the live show is you're going to tweet and include the VZWBuzz hashtag and tell us things that you've learned today, either during the Twitter chat that we've just done or during the live show, if you've learned something new during this. And we are going to kind of go over some of the things we talked about. And we have a special guest today, too, which is Suzanne Chan of momconfessionals.com, and she's Mom Confessional on Twitter as well. She is a mom of 3. She is a photography buff and says that she will be in all sorts of weird positions with her DSLR camera, which I agree with. People do that. And she's also a nurse and a mom and everything, and she's a very busy lady. So let's everybody welcome Suzanne.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I really am thrilled to be here and talking with you all about the connected home.
Awesome. We are so glad to have you here. And Suzanne and I were talking a little bit beforehand, and she is set up. She is a connected home kind of person. So we're going to start and ask her to tell us about a few of her favorite connected home items. What have you got for us, Suzanne?
Oh my. Well, first of all, I was just talking to you about my lovely HP Envy printer, which I absolutely am obsessed with. Just the convenience of it is amazing, being able to print from my mobile phone. Anytime I get like an email, say from Monica or from Misty, I get to print it right away and read it and have it ready for me at home. Kids' homeworks assignments, and even within the household too, that just to have that ability of everybody on the network not being able to, prior to, we used to just go right up to the printer, take the cable out, plug it into whoever's laptop or computer, and that was just overwhelming. And I would be like, who has it plugged in? Who doesn't have it plugged in? So it's just really, really great now. Everybody's wireless, and we're all connected to it, and we're able to print from anywhere in the world.
I agree with that. I have the same printer. I don't know if it's the same exact model, but I have the HP Envy, and it is nice to now be able to. For a while there, you had one printer, and sometimes, like, my husband would email something to me and say, "Print this for me." You no longer have to do that. Every device you can just print from, and so that is part of our connected home offices and things like that. So that's a great one. So what else have you got for us?
Something that I just discovered recently, and we talked a lot about many of the different products that can be supported by this app, is the Wink app. It's like a hub that you can purchase, and it controls many of the products that we talked about, like the Levitron light bulbs. We talked about the quick-set door sets. A lot of the quirky products, they make those really funky, the piggy banks and like the light switches and stuff like that. All of that can be controlled through the Wink app. So a lot of the different connected home products that you have, like your thermostat and stuff, have individual apps, but many of them are compatible with the Wink app, and you can do it all within that one app.
And is the Wink app, is that iOS, Android, Windows, do you know?
I don't think it's on Windows yet, but I know it's iOS and Android compatible.
Okay, and you're able to use that with a lot of your devices.
Yeah, so I have, it's not compatible with the Nest that we talked about, the thermostat, but it is, Honeywell has a very similar system that I also control. I have a few quirky products, and it's really cute, like being able to see how much money my kids have in their piggy bank. I haven't gotten to the lock set yet, but that's something that's pretty interesting and very cool, being able to do that. I'm a little nervous living in Queens to do that, but we're getting there.
So what would be the value for you of something like the Quickset TiVo, the electronic thing? What would be the value of having something like that for your family? How would you see you using it, and why would it be beneficial over a traditional key?
I think it's just good, say, like if I don't want to, I have a housekeeper who comes every now and then to clean. If I'm not home, I don't want to give them, per se, a physical key. These key sets are so smart in the sense that they can give like an individual key that just expires within like a few hours, that open window that they're going to be there. So it's creates a lot of security that way. If I have my children, I want to let them in, but I don't always want them to be giving it away to everybody. They can just, hey, from this time to this time, I know you're coming home, you can unlock it. And that's also a security feature for yourself, too, to know how many people are accessing your home. It's really, really neat. It's come a long way. It makes me feel a lot closer to being a Jetson.
It does, and we mentioned that in the Twitter chat today, that most of us grew up watching the Jetsons cartoons, and we thought, oh, wow, that's so cool. I wish I would be able to do that. And it really is amazing now how many connected home devices there are, and just different little gadgets and stuff for us to use, that we kind of are starting to live in that Jetsons kind of age. We just now all need Rosie the robot. I would like her. So
Yeah.
okay, so what about, are you a cook? Do you have any kitchen connected devices that you like or that you're interested in?
I do not cook. I have a lovely mother-in-law who does all my cooking, but there are probably quite a few products out there that are very handy. I know a lot of people have those coffee makers that can be electronically controlled through their phone and have it ready for them, like when they're waking up, which is pretty cool. I've had some friends tell me they're like sitting in their bed and they're like, let's start the coffee machine, and there we go. It's ready for them.
And how about any of the cameras that we can connect to? Do you'll utilize any of those in your home, the Dropcam Pro or Belkin or any of those types of cameras?
I did install a Dropcam Pro for my aunt so that she could watch her dogs while she was working, and it's actually really, really great. It's nice and secure. I know she was and also because I know it's super secure. There's like 10 million codes, and I reassured her it's super safe, and she's able to just look on her phone and monitor her dogs, even though they're in their cage while they're home. But she loves just being able to check in on them and see if they're okay. For myself, I have a Sloman's alarm system, which allows me to access, and it's also connected through my FiOS system, and it allows me to see my entire home. So let me see. I wanted to show you guys that on my phone. Pardon the mess, but I have a little Sloman's app that I just am going to click, and they're going to load my viewing of my camera. Hopefully it's loading.
It's always slower when we want it to show somebody instantly, right?
To show a demonstration, I know. It's actually, I don't know why it's not loading. Oh, slowly. Well, when it doesn't show it,
right,
because
you can access all of your home security and information right through the app then.
Yeah, and it's actually pointed right to my playroom, which is really nice, so I get to be at work and I get to check in and see what my kids are up to.
That's awesome. I know that the Dropcam Pro that you mentioned that you had for your aunt, it has a mic and a speaker built in, and so she could talk to her dogs and probably mess with her dogs a little bit, and that's a really great feature. I know the camera that I have, one of them, it has a mic, so I can hear. They can't hear me if I talk to them. But it's been great. My biggest tip is point it towards your front door, at least one of them, and I can see who comes in and out of my house, which is great for when I travel. And you can set up alerts. It can send you an email with a copy of the picture. It can send you a text and do different things whenever there's motion detected. And there's night vision on most of them now. I know the Dropcam Pro has it. So you can even see when it's almost dark in your house. So that's really a great security and peace of mind kind of thing to have. And like you said, you watch the kids in the playroom, which is awesome. Oh. We have a little bit of drag on one end or the other. I'm not sure if it's Suzanne or I. Okay, so I'm going to keep talking. I think it's Suzanne. We're having a little bit of a drag with it happens. We are live show.
Okay.
Some of the other things we talked about, I saw this in passing today, that Belkin, who does the Wemo switches, also has teamed up with Crock-Pot, and they have a slow cooker that you can control with your app, which I think is very cool. You can adjust the settings on it. It'll tell you when it's ready. You can change it. I mean, that just sounds amazing to me. I have not tried one of those myself, but that would be great. And I know there are a lot of home appliances that also have connections on it. Samsung makes a great line of washers and dryers, and they send you an alert when the cycle is done. So there's no more, oops, I forgot it was in the washing machine and that. Suzanne, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can see everything.
Okay. Have you seen any of the connected appliances or heard about them? Any of those that kind of you go, wow, I would love to have that?
Well, the crockpot one that you just mentioned, I thought that was pretty awesome when you mentioned it. I mean, that's probably the only cooking I do is that slow pot cooking. If I can throw everything into one bowl and just have it ready, that's really, really great. And a lot of older Chinese recipes require that like all day making of soups and stuff. So that's a pretty neat thing to do.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I know I saw some of the stoves even, they can send you an alert to your phone when the preheating is done. So if you're, preheating and you're outside doing something, it'll let you know. Or you can change the cycle if you're stuck in traffic and you need to slow it down or whatever. It's just amazing what these things can do. I see.
Yeah, GE has a nice oven that does that too, like a nice oven warmer. I've seen that in some of the smart homes where you can just have like put a casserole in there, put it in there, and it's nice and cool in there until you're ready. And you set a timer and it goes right off from your phone. You say, hey, I'm half hour from home. Let's start it, and it's ready and heating and ready for you by the time you get home.
That's awesome. I see the Dingo Dad, Donald here. He's like, I sent spooky Halloween pranks with the drop cam. So I can see that he's going to be talking to people, scaring the trick-or-treaters as they come to the door or something. That's funny. And there was a couple other people that talked about it with the Wemo switches and that, just kind of messing with people, especially when it's new. It is kind of fun to like, oh, the TV's on or off, or the light's on and off, and just messing with people a little bit just because it's a fun thing to do. But one of the things, so we're talking about all these products, and a lot of people, sometimes they go out and get something like this, but then they don't really make the most of it. They don't, they're just not utilizing it. Do you have any tips for people on really, when you get these different kinds of connected products, what you should look for when you're buying them so that you think it's going to be the best one for you, and then how you really get started using it all the time and get into a habit of that? Do you have any tips for everybody?
Well, so for me, it's every time I do anything, it's always about planning and thinking about how you live your life and what would make things most convenient for you. Especially for someone like my aunt, like I tried to set that all up for her because she wants the convenience, but she's not a very technological person. So I need something that's very simple and easy to use. I don't need 10,000 interfaces. She wants a security camera to watch the dog. She wants to be able to turn on her coffee. She wants to control her thermometer. And that's why I love the Wink app, because all of that brings it into one. It's all these companies that work together on one OS, and they put everything all together, and it's easy. So all these companies collaborated together to put together something that makes it nice and easy and simple for somebody like her. And I think that's a wonderful thing. So you have to think about how you live. Like some people want more sophisticated applications and usage, so they might go for all different apps for different products, and you might put together a folder on your phone or desktop or whatever app that you're using that's, say, all your mobile home apps, that you can control from one area. There's many different ways of filing or putting it all together. But for somebody who's nice and simple, you want to do a Wink app, or you can do something that's more like a folder on your desktop that controls everything.
I love that tip about putting all of them in a folder, either on your phone or on your tablet or desktop. And that's the thing, we've talked a lot about the apps, but most of these connected home products also will let you control it via your desktop or laptop computer. They have a web-based version. Not all of them, but a great many of them do. So I know there's a few of the people in our VZWBuzz audience who are not ready for smartphones. They're perfectly happy with their basic phone, and that's okay because it's whatever works for you. But you can still utilize these connected devices. The one thing that you really do have to have for most of these things is a Wi-Fi connection in your home. You need some wireless activity happening in your home because that is how most of them are going to connect. I do find that they're pretty simple to set up, but like you said, for your aunt, she's not overly technical, so you were able to go and do it for her. But I said earlier in the chat today that for most people, if you're pretty good with your smartphone or tablet, most of these connected devices you're going to be able to set up on your own. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think a lot of them are now designed for very simple interface, quick, easy to use. Nobody wants to have to call a service person to come in and put together something. Definitely when I had my security system in, yes, they did it in an all-in-one package, but the drop cam was literally like plug it in, be near your plug it directly into your router, and it synced up right away. After that, you never have to deal with it again. You just plugged it right back into your outlet, and it was always connected to your router wirelessly. So it's very easy for the most simple person. They can figure it out in 2 seconds, and that's what I love about these products, because it's very Jetson-like.
Yeah, it is. And then there are a few of them that are a little more complicated. So like a security system, that most people are going to want to have that professionally installed. The Nest and the other thermostats that are out there, that's a little more, there's some wiring and stuff involved. However, if you or someone in your family is kind of a DIY person, they should be able to handle it. But you can always find someone to install it for you if you're not up to that task. The Wemo light switches, those require a little bit of wiring. But then the plugs, the Belkin plugs, you just plug into the wall and then plug your device into that. And that's a really simple way to control lights, especially we have one light that, for whatever reason, it's in a corner kind of, and it's hard to reach the switch on it. And so that's what one of the things I'm going to pick up this weekend is a plug, one of those plugs for it, so that way I can just turn it on and off with the app. It'll say, much better. And it's cooler than
I also wanted to mention, so some of the things that you mentioned are a little bit more difficult to install. What I do love is there's always a YouTube video for like everything. If you want to learn how to install like the Nest, there is a video out there of somebody showing how to demonstrate how to do it nice and easy. And that's what I love about the internet now. You can always find somebody who has done some sort of video that you can watch and actually see it. Because following instructions can be very hard sometimes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. My husband is the Mr. Fix-It around our house. And he is all about the YouTube. The washing machine breaks, and he's like, he's on YouTube. He is looking it up. He goes, look, this is the part. It only costs us $2.50 to fix it instead of buying a new washing machine or whatever. So he is all about that, or installing new things and things like that. We've talked a lot, too, about entertainment, home entertainment, and connected home. And one of the simplest things I think everybody can try out is a Bluetooth speaker. So if you don't have a Bluetooth speaker, if you don't understand what it is, it's super, super simple, and you're just going to pair it. And pairing means you let like your phone and the speaker talk to each other. That's all that means. And once you do, the sound you get out of these little Bluetooth speakers is amazing. I mean, I'm shocked because they're small, and I don't have mine handy, but they're really small. And I know, Suzanne, you said you have Bluetooth speakers as well, and do you agree that that's one of the simplest ways to kind of get into this whole connected home?
Absolutely. So I have the Bose SoundLink Mini, which I'll bring over in a little bit, but it's so small, and I used to have the big Bose speakers, and Bose has excellent sound quality. So out of that little thing, I'm getting the exact same quality. It's so great. I can just walk into a room. A lot of the songs are on my phone. It could be on my computer in another room, and all I do is just hit play because it's all synced, and it start playing music. I have it. I have one in my nursery. So at nighttime when the baby, I don't want to go in there because I don't want to. Once he sees me, all hell breaks loose. But I can just, with my phone, just turn on a little lullaby and just shush him to sleep.
Oh, I love that idea. I hadn't even thought about it. I'm past the baby stage, but. So that is really a great idea for the nursery. I love that. I know we always have one at the lake house when we go, and we take it out on the boat with us. We sit out on the deck with us. So we have music everywhere we go now, and it's a good quality music, and it's not like the big old, do you remember we had boom boxes back in the 80s? You might be a little too young for that, Suzanne, but
no, I had boom boxes.
Okay, and they took like 27 D-cell batteries that lasted an hour. I mean, these little speakers last for hours and hours on end. So they really are a great way for people to kind of get in there, because most everybody listens to music, and so I think it's a great way to get in there. And cost is one of those things. Some people look at the Bluetooth speakers, and some of them, they're a little more expensive, but I promise you the quality really is worth it. Don't get one that's $20. You're not going to get the sound that we're talking about if you get something like that. It'll give you sound, but it's not the quality sound in that. So,
There is so many options, though. There definitely is a lot of options out there. I mean, you can get something like the Bose SoundLink Mini, or you could get the Sonos where you want the full room experience. But what I love about them is you can carry them from room to room. You don't need to have it like just stationary in one area because they're so small. You bring it to the kitchen, bring it out into the yard if you're having guests over for a picnic. It's just really, really a great thing to have, a wonderful invention.
Great. Okay, so one last thing I want to ask you about, because you do have little ones. Are they at the age they have any of the connected toys or anything like that that they really seem to enjoy? Anything that connects to different apps or, plug in, you snap your phone into so it works from? Do they have anything like that?
Zoomer the dog. They do. They have quite a few toys that they love to play with. They have the Zoomer app on my phone. They're always asking me to play with it, to teach the dog how to do new tricks and stuff. They have a lot of iPads. They had a few computer games that they had that they could sync with it and they would control through the phone. They have a lot of fun products that really get the kids into it.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and because our kids, they're growing up with this technology. They are totally, I can't imagine what it's going to be like when our children are our age, the amount of stuff that's all going to be connected. It blows my mind. So I wanted to thank you, Suzanne, for joining us again today. And everybody follow Mom Confessional on Twitter. And is it Mom Confessionals or Mom Confessional without an S.com for your website?
It's momconfessionals.com for the website, and then for Twitter is without the S.
Okay, great. I wanted to make sure I had that right. So she has a great blog. I was over there reading it early today. Lots of fun stuff on there, and I suggest you all check it out and follow Suzanne on Twitter. And we are going to have a winner. Let me check and see here real quick if we have a winner yet. I have to move some things around on my window. Let's see. No, I don't have a winner yet. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. I have a winner. Yay. Okay. And, oh, good. This person is going to be so excited. Right now, this person is going to scream if they're watching and they're going to go, oh, it is Lisa of Giggle Momster. She is going to get so excited. I know she's won the Nokia Lumia Icon smartphone, which is one of my very favorite smartphones. It is a Windows operating system. And you can get them at Verizon, who is, of course, our sponsor. And I personally love it. It takes amazing photos. And I wanted to thank you all for joining us again. Monica will be back next week. She was traveling today, so I filled in for her. I was traveling last week, which is why you guys didn't see me. Next week, we are going to talk about wearables. So all of those cool devices and things that we have or that you're seeing that are wearables. So the Galaxy Gears, the Fitbits, I can't think of them on it. There's so many of them now, and they're coming out. And so we're going to talk a lot about all of those cool things that you can wear that help you keep track of things, that help you get notifications, that help you stay healthier. There are so many of them out on the market right now. And that's what our Twitter chat will be about next week, and our video recap as well. And hopefully we'll be able to show you some of those things live. And I think that's about it for this week. I want to thank our sponsor, Verizon, as always, for allowing us to do all these wonderful things each Friday. And to all of you for watching us. We really enjoy doing the Twitter parties and doing the live video shows. And a shout out to Gene Parks, aka Geek Babe, and Paul at the Tech Dad, who are always here for us each week too. And thank you all for taking time to spend with us. And we will see you next Friday, starting at noon on Pacific time. That's 3 p.m. on the East Coast, 2 p.m. Central. That's when the Twitter chats start each Friday. And then at the end of that hour is when our live video chats start. So we will see you all next week. And thanks again, Suzanne. And thank you, Marty and Misty, our producers of the show. We'll see you next week, everyone.